Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 12 of the Batter Mets Fan Podcast. Uh, Ronnie, to sum it up, so a disaster after breaking even in San Diego, and we dropped the series in against St. Louis. We lose 2 out of 3, and Ronnie, the only good thing before I ask you how you're doing and your thoughts on the series, the good news is that no one cares, at least in the city of New York. I think no one cares. Even Met fans don't care. Well, I care, but uh, it seems like no one in New York cares about the Mets, Yankees, Rangers, NYCFC, the Nets. It's only one team that everyone gives a shit about, right? So I feel like if the Mets get worse, no one's gonna notice it, right?
Uh, no, Knicks are making too much noise in New York, especially after last night's
And the World
historic
Cup.
win and the World Cup. Yeah, I predicted
So,
2-0 Mexico, and they won
ooh,
2-0, 2-0. Yeah,
nice. That was a good inauguration.
yeah.
So,
Well,
um, I say, Ronnie, let's just jump into it. We have quite a bit to talk about with the outcome and the negatives, mostly negatives with this team, but we got to start thinking about the future with this specific team. And I would just say right up front, today was, I feel like, an exhibition match. I don't know if it's because of the World Cup, the magic of the World Cup, but today everyone was hitting home runs. I think our only offense was just home runs today. There was no, it felt like a home run derby.
hmm
And I said it last episode. I don't want to count this as a Juan Soto moment because we're winning to salvage the series. But Juan Soto did have a go-ahead home run. He came up clutch, and that's pretty much the highlight of the series. Juan Soto gave us a win essentially. We win 5-4, and the first two games we had no offense. We get smacked 7-0 on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we lose 9-2, and the only run was Francisco Alvarez 2 home run.
hmm
So essentially, actually, the Mets offense this whole series was just home runs. No small ball, no nothing. It was just home runs, swinging, swinging for the fences. Um, Ronnie, let me just start with this. Freddie Peralta on Tuesday, because I
Bro,
know I know we love to talk about some Freddie Peralta after the news that he was seeking a 8-year, 7 or 8 year, 200 million plus contract extension. What are your thoughts on that? If anything has
absolute.
changed.
No, nothing's changed. Absolute brutal start after. I don't know why this seems to happen when players request something like this. When
Mm-hmm.
they start talking about contracts, the game after, I don't think it ever fails. They seem to
Never.
struggle, but this is just pure embarrassment. How? So last episode we were talking about, or at least I mentioned his value. Um, we want to get rid of. At least I would say to sell him at the deadline, and in order for us to get something back of what we lost, he needs to raise his value up. I don't see him as a Met. I don't think he's going to be a Met,
Mm-hmm.
especially the way he's been inconsistent this season. The Mets got him for one sole reason, and is to be the type of pitcher that he was with Milwaukee. He didn't have all great seasons, but he did help them get to the playoffs. And that's the Freddie Peralta that we wanted, or at least David Stearns wanted, and we haven't seen that at all this year. So for him to be asking for that kind of contract and then to go out there and give up 6 runs, 6 earned,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah, I don't.
disgusting.
It's not looking good for him at
No,
all.
it's disgusting. 6 runs, and he pitched 6 innings,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it was just like useless, not productive. Like that's just not what you want. I mean, it's just to salvage the bullpen, but at this point, who cares? And we have a bullpen game on Tuesday, I believe. Or no, on Wednesday we had a
It was
bullpen game.
yesterday. Yeah.
Peterson or
Another one.
Warren put himself to trouble, and then Peterson just finished the job with just like absolute joke. It's just this team is underperforming, and it's a letdown because we had an opportunity to maybe salvage the series against the Cardinals, and you start feeling more confident with the big test against the Braves. I'll tell you right now, I was not thinking that we're gonna win the series against the Braves, and I'll double down and say that we're probably gonna get swept. One thing about the Mets that I've noticed this season is that when they pulled off some impressive wins, and you have some hope that they could get it together. They end up losing 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They're very consistent with that. So that essentially proves that this team is inconsistent, and they seem to be more consistent when things get tough and lose a lot. And the worst part of it, Ronnie, is that even if we had a chance to maybe fight for a wild card spot, you're dropping 2 out of 3 to a team like the Cardinals, who you're probably going to be chasing for a wild card spot. So these losses do matter. You look at teams like the Miami Marlins and Philadelphia Phillies in the division are taking games off. Well, we haven't played the Phillies yet, but Miami Marlins are now getting hot, and they're just going to be, a pain in the ass if the Mets are going to try to climb out of this. So essentially what this series showed is that it's more likely or not it's time to sell, and we need to start looking at players that the Mets should probably move on from. You mentioned a few episodes ago that Freddie Peralta is probably the guy that's the most attractive player to be shipped off to contenders. No,
Yes. Correct. I still stand by that.
you still stand by this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you. I'm not happy about it. Like I understand it. I'm just not gonna be happy about it, and it's not because he's amazing. I'm just pissed off that I don't know what we're gonna get in return. We lost leverage with that trade. Like
No, and his starts are not consistent.
no,
They're he's looking terrible. His value is just going down, and
Mhm.
I think he can do better somewhere else. Some scout is probably going to take a look at him and say, "Hey, we can probably use his arm for the playoffs." So
And watch him become
the,
an ace on another team. Change the scenario.
yeah,
He leaves the
and the
Mets.
problem
That's gonna be the worst part of it.
and the problem will be is that that team won't give up so much for Peralta, but because the Mets are going to be desperate to get rid of him before his contract is up, I'm fearing that Stearns is just gonna make a terrible move. Especially, I don't think he's gonna make it past the offseason. I think once the season is over, he's gone. Stearns.
Probably.
If Kid David, if Steve Cohen cares at all, I don't think he's sticking with Stearns.
Well, yeah, Cohen. He has a lot of. Cohen has been dodging the hard questions, and he should be thankful that the Knicks are taking all the noise away from anyone that who even cares about baseball at this moment. I will say that Cohen is going to have to address a lot of this come All-Star break. Once the Mets record, we'll see what the damage looks like after the end of the month, because we're in the middle of a gauntlet with the schedule, and he's going to have to answer some really hard questions. And if he says anything positive, oh man,
Well, he's
then we
distracted
have
as well.
yeah,
He
Yeah.
was at the Knicks game last night, so
he was right. Mm.
yeah, I think he was wearing a Mets hat.
Oh boy,
If I'm not mistaken.
oh boy.
The
I wouldn't
video
be
was kinda
surprised.
blurry,
I
but he
wouldn't be
was there.
surprised. And on top
He
of
was
that,
courtside.
the Mets, the Mets were playing. I don't blame him. I mean, I'm kind of furious. The owners rather watch something else than his own team. But can you blame him somewhat? I mean, the Mets are brutal. Did you see what happened on? Anyone that watched Tuesday and Wednesday, I mean, credit to you if you watched that. I turned off the TV. I turned it off my phone, actually. I turned it off like midway through the fourth or fifth inning when it was already a blowout.
They got outscored
20-5 or 20-7.
No. Those two games,
Oh.
16-2, and got out hit 22-8. I didn't even turn on the games at all.
It's a good ass kicking.
What did I predict? That they were gonna go 2 or 3?
I think you said
that's what we did. Is
Yeah,
that
I
what
think
we
so.
said?
I think
Did you
so,
say that
something
as
like that.
well?
I think I said we're gonna win 2 out of 3, and I think you said we're losing because you were just. I don't remember if you said 2 out of 3 or I don't think you said swept. I think we agree that we'll probably get swept by the Braves, or you said sweep, something like that.
Yeah, I think this, especially after the way this series went,
It's bad.
This team is looking terrible.
It's bad. It's not even fun anymore. Like this series, it was brutal. And I will tell you, not to take shots at the Cardinals. I've been to the stadium. I've been to the city. Amazing fan base. Awesome pregame. Awesome postgame. Just awesome baseball city. I recommend you watch a game over there in St. Louis. I don't have fun watching the Cardinals. They're one of those teams that when I watch it, I just get bored, and I can't explain it. I feel the same way with the A's when I had also gone to Oakland. I don't have fun watching them, and they could be the best team in baseball. I don't have fun, and I don't know what it is. So adding that, my bias towards the Cardinals baseball, and then seeing the Mets offense just look like a joke. I mean, it was not fun. Ronnie, you're onto something. Bo Bichette. Remember you mentioned that it seems like he doesn't do anything in the series, and in the last game, he kind of reminds us that he is something. Well,
Bro, every
hey,
time.
look, the numbers. Listen, like you're not analytics guy, Ronnie, but the first 2 games of the series, 0 for 8.
For 8.
And then the
Yeah.
last game, he hits a home run.
Yeah.
Two
never
run home run
fails.
that was actually very important to the win. I'm just saying, man. It's just and it's very consistent. I don't know what it is. I really don't know, but
I think at this
that's
point it's
frustrating.
just I think at this point it's just his flow has gotten into where there's some games that he's going to struggle, and there's going to be one game where he pops off or he does something to help the team win. And I think it's just falling around the times, like the first 2 games of the series, and then he pops off in that last game. And I think
Yeah,
that's where his flow is just. I don't think it's anything coincidental. I don't think it's any. I mean, yeah, I think it's coincidental. I don't think there's any meaning behind it. But when I said that, obviously I saw that pattern. I just don't like the pattern. Bro,
right.
if you're gonna help the team win, help the team win every night.
Right out the
Not,
gate. Yeah,
yeah,
right out the
exactly.
game. Do something from the start. I just feel like he's like it takes him two business days to like mentally prepare for a match and remind himself like, damn, I'm a
My
pretty good
Amazon
baseball
package
player.
comes faster than that.
Yeah. Oh man, it just last another person I want to address, Ronnie, in this series, Christian Scott, man.
Yeah.
I was excited about him. I genuinely thought that we had a good momentum train going with this kid, and he got roughed up by the. May I already told you I don't like the Cardinals. I don't know what I'm missing from the Cardinals, but they smacked our Mets pit. Like people need to understand, the Mets are a bad team, but our pitching has been reliable. That's the only good thing about the Mets is their pitching is reliable. The Cardinals offense smacked us, and I don't know who I'm missing on the Cardinals. Like I'm looking at the roster and I'm looking at these guys. Not a lot jumps out that like amazes me from this lineup. I don't see it, and it's so alarming to see the offense just pop off on us. Like I wouldn't say shocked. I'm just so confused and it's bizarre. Like what? I don't know what
So
happened, but
okay.
jeez.
Okay. Bullpen games are not working. You
Right.
need to start David Peterson because I think the game that he started, he actually pitched well.
Yeah.
Was that mistake me if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I could be mistaken there. Our bullpen is still phenomenal. Besides David Peterson and AJ Warren, they only scored 2 runs off our bullpen.
Yeah.
So
Led by
I think it's
Brazoban.
yeah. So Christian Scott, maybe rookie jitters against a good team. Uh, Peralta, inconsistent. And those are the 2 starters that pitched this game, this series, and they got rocked. And then if you want to talk about David Peterson and AJ Warren, yes, they are part of the bullpen technically, but David Peterson is still a starter. It's just the fact that Mendoza is still going out there with these fucking bullpen games.
Yeah.
Why? It's
And 2 of
not
them.
working, bro. It's
And 2
not
of them.
working.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. Get some help.
Bro, yeah, and
Stop
those are
it.
he's fried, man. He's fried. He knows he's not getting fired at this point, so he's just doing whatever it takes, man. He's trying anything at this point, even if it's
I'm
stupid.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I just want to go back to your point, and it's our bullpen is still the Mets bullpen is still amazing. I
Yeah.
think that's the type of bullpen that we need going into the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year because we need our starters to step up badly. Kodai Senga, speaking of starters, Kodai Senga is rehabbing, and I think 2 days ago or yesterday I saw that we got bad news, but then he ended up pitching today, and he went great. So
He
I
pitched
don't
today,
know.
really?
I think he had a rehab start today.
Really? I
If
heard
I'm
it was a
not
setback. Oh
exactly,
wow.
that's what I heard. Um, Yeah,
What is going on with
It-
this team? Like, are the
it's
reporters
the
even?
organization. It's the organization. So 2 days ago, I saw the same thing you did, or on
Yeah,
Monday,
it's
there
like a
was a setback.
nuclear nerve or something. I forget the name of it. Specific nerve in his arm, which is very scary for pitchers. That's you don't want that hurting. Usually that
Yeah,
requires
and
surgery.
he pitched well in his rehab start. So
What? But
yep,
I'd
he
imagine
was.
with the setback, he's we're not going to expect him anytime soon. At least another 1 or 2 weeks if he pitched well
Uh,
today.
well, he pitched well today, and he's like apparently they're saying that he's most likely to return. So one day we get that there was a setback. He scratched from the start, and then the following day, literally the following day, they say that he's likely to return. And then the following day, he pitches great, 6 innings, 5 strikeouts in Double A. I don't know what's going on with the organization. I don't know the
Oh my
reporters, what
goodness, that
kind of
is
news that's
wild.
coming out. But yeah. So speaking of starters, it's just one start, one rehab start. He's very injury prone, but maybe he can take some pressure off Freddie Peralta because he's the only veteran that's what had high expectations in that
Right,
rotation, right?
right.
Um,
He was
so
supposed to
well,
be.
him
He
and
was supposed
Kodai
to be. He
Senga,
was supposed to be one or two of the 1-2 punch in his rotation. If I'm gonna be honest
yeah,
with you,
Kodai
Sengo's supposed to
Senga,
be
and
that guy
then
with the ghost ball.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So let's see with his return can take some pressure off and can bring his value up because even if he starts pitching well, I still want to get something in return for Peralta.
Yeah. No, no, we have to. We
I don't
we,
want to.
we
I don't. And I've always said this. I'm sorry, Manny.
You're good.
I've always said this. If this team cannot win these kind of games, I don't want them in the playoffs. For what? We're gonna suffer.
Yeah. No, no, you're right. And it's just gonna bring up more expectations. The thing with the Mets, I won't get too much into it, but the narrative with this team is that if we make the playoffs and we don't make it, it's gonna be 100 times worse because we have Juan Soto
Well,
and the
yeah.
whole thing with him picking us over the other team, and it's gonna suck. Like the pressure is so high. People don't think of it or know it, but the pressure is so high with them that like it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's gonna be very annoying. It's gonna be another long off season with this team if we don't make the playoffs. If we really don't make the playoffs, that's gonna be brutal.
I'm
Ronnie,
not concerned. I'm not concerned with the other side of town. Obviously, that team has their shit together. This team is still. They have to work on so many things, starting with their
right,
damn reporters. So
right,
yeah.
yeah, unfortunate. Ronnie, your hard hat and get penas for the series.
I don't really have much hard hats to go out for.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Let me.
fair enough.
Honestly, I don't.
It's Kepenas. I'm about to give a Kepena to the Mets reporting. It's all over the place with this. All over the place with this crap.
Que pena is Freddie Peralta. I have to give it to him. Que pena.
Okay.
I think I gave it to him maybe two episodes ago or 3 episodes ago. He's up there with Bo Bichette, but after asking for that kind of contract and pitching a horrendous game like that, right afterwards, yeah,
Yeah.
that my
Yeah.
pena goes to him.
Right. Oh man. Watching the series or half of it because I'm one of those that turn off the phone or turn off the phone. I turn off the app. I really did not have anything like there is nothing going positive with the Mets overall. I guess the hard hat winner, if I had to. Um, I really don't want to give it to Soto, but he did have he did lead us to a win today. Can't take that away. That's what you want from your captain, your leader of the squad right now. Um,
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm gonna do, Ronnie? I'm gonna give a que pena to just the injury bug that the Mets have and like these setbacks. Like that's embarrassing. I think the news of that is more embarrassing and frustrating than anything. Is one thing to lose and get your ass kicked, and then it's another to look at the reports and see that Polanco is supposed to come back with this team now.
I was
And
just
he's
gonna
set
say
back.
that. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I saw that setback as well a
He
couple
got a
days ago.
setback, and now we don't know when that's gonna happen. It's like a foot or ankle aggravation. Senga, I was pissed off about that. Up until now, where you told me that he actually might come back soon. That's a little encouraging, but And then you see Alvarez come back from a torn meniscus, and he's back so soon. And I mean, I'm so nervous about the guy because that's such a risky injury, or that's such a tricky one. It's like same thing with the hamstring when you have a sprain, or you have a hamstring injury and you come back, you think you're good, and then you aggravate and you're out for a longer time.
Yeah.
But it's just the injuries with this team, man. And that's why I pushed the thoughts that like we need to sell and just see what we can, just salvage, just see what we could get in return for what we have built this year, and see what we could build for next year, and hopefully, in a couple of years we'll probably finally get over the hump. But I think that's
There
what I'm gonna
are
say.
there are teams. So sometimes when you have injured players, you can't trade injured players at all.
No, you
throughout the
can't.
season.
You can't.
But when they come back and you DFA them or whatever, they can get claimed off waivers. I don't think we want that with the players that we got. For Vientos and who was it, Peterson? I don't really give a damn
No.
because we're not going to get anything good in return. But if we have Luis Robert Jr., Jorge Polanco that come back before the deadline and the Mets want to move them along with Freddie Peralta, we can trade
Okay.
We can trade for some draft picks. Try to get some players in the draft for next season or the next 2 years. I just don't think this team is ready to win within the next 3 years. I hope I'm
No.
wrong, but I'm just tired of it. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah. One thing with the Mets is when we go all in, it's usually a failure. Let's just jump into it. Since we're talking about Freddie Peralta on the trade rumors and stuff like that, let's just. I'm a. I'll tell you right now, if we were to sell, and I think we should sell, it is time for the Mets to sell. Essentially, even if Lodor is going to come back in a few weeks, I'm losing faith in this team, and I'm telling you, it's like this much, and it just grows less and less. Um, if we were to trade, obviously Freddie Peralta's our high one, or a high end leverage to get anything, or so I hope. If you put him in a package, Luke Weaver, I would imagine, is another good piece that we should move. People would want him, and Brazoban.
Hmm.
Brazoban's the one that's gonna hurt. But if you're gonna make a trade, you're gonna get some value out of like teams that are trying to contend and win now.
Yes,
You need to
you're
you need to, you need to move Brazoban. Brazoban is gonna make every contender, want to trade with you, right?
yeah. The thing about this is it's always a business. It would hurt to see Brazoban and Weaver leave,
He's our best.
get
He's our
moved,
best bullpen guy, in my opinion.
and but we can get a lot in return.
Oh, we could get a really valuable youth piece,
Hmm.
but and that's the frustrating thing is like, yeah, you want good prospects, but like you have Soto, you have Lindor, like you have these guys, and like we're thinking about like, okay, maybe like in 4 or 5 years, this team will be like
Why'd you
scary.
say Lindor like that?
You know how I feel about Lindor. We're not. He's unmovable, or he's unlikely to move, and that's just my bias. Like I'm not the biggest Lindor
No,
guy,
no, no, no. I know.
but
No, I'm not either. I was talking to a, a guy from a company that he works for another company that goes to the store. Um,
mm-hmm.
he said the same thing. He's not a big fan at all. He doesn't like the contract. He
Nope,
didn't like what he did. Held them hostage for that long. Um,
nope.
you're right. They can't move him, um, or they won't be able to move him. Nobody's gonna want to pick up that contract regardless. He's entering what his mid 30s, I think, and
Nah, man,
it
it's
just sucks, bro. When you start looking at this and start breaking it down piece by piece, it starts looking bleak. And
it's
this is
really bleak.
all you can't blame 100% on it on David Stearns because Steve Cohen allowed some of these type of moves. I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest move that Cohen in Cohen's era, Juan Soto. Other than that, everything has just been
Awful.
crap.
Yeah, awful. Yep. No, it's just
And you know
it's
how
not
Yankees
fun.
felt. Yankees felt the way the other team across town felt. Their fans felt about Juan Soto coming to the Mets. I think that's the way us fans are feeling about Pete Alonso, Nimmo, and
These guys being gone, and
McNeil being
McNeil.
gone. Yeah.
Diaz, even though Diaz is
And
dealing with
Diaz,
legal trouble or whatever's going on over there. I haven't paid attention, but
I haven't either.
illegal.
He pissed someone off.
Yeah, yeah, and he got ratted out for something. I don't know. Who cares about that? He's
He
not
probably
with
went
us
to a
anymore.
party,
But
got drunk, pissed someone off, spoke to a
yeah,
reporter, and
probably. Outside of what we just spoke, Weaver, Brazelbon, I would imagine you think the Mets. I'm gonna give you a list of names, Ronnie, and you tell me likely or more likely or unlikely that they'll be moved. All right, you ready?
okay,
Devin Williams.
move.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Mark Vientos.
Release him.
Release.
Yeah,
Not even trying for any value. Just get him off my
release him.
team.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Brett Beatty. What about Brett
Oh
Beatty?
no.
You think you'll give him
Poor
another
kid.
chance because he's on the
I'd give.
radar of a lot of players, at least some fans, and there's kind of a division with Brett Beatty. He's an interesting one to keep an eye on for the trade
I feel
deadline.
bad
But
for the kid, man. He came in at the wrong time. I'm not saying that he wasn't ready. It's just that the Mets had so many players playing the same position, and he was
yeah,
one of those. Mark
yeah,
Vientos with Brett Beatty, and then you had Mauricio trying to play third base too because Lindor is at shortstop or at second base. There was another third baseman that we had, and so I feel bad for the kid because he can hit and he has a beautiful swing too. Almost reminds me of Michael Conforto. It's not exactly the same,
mm,
but that kid can play and
yeah.
he
I
has
miss
heart.
Conforto.
Oh yeah, me too. That kid can play, and I would love to keep him. I wouldn't move him. I wouldn't move him.
Okay. And what about Alvarez and Torrens? You think we'll move our catchers?
No, no, no,
They're
absolutely
staying.
not. Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay. Alvarez is hard to rely on. I'm with you. I feel like he won't be likely to be traded just because of his health. I feel like we will probably lose for that. You might as well just keep him and see what happens.
Hmm.
You kind of hope with him, but okay, interesting.
Second string catchers never get traded. They
Fair,
get signed. They get picked up for.
fair.
Yeah, they get picked up during the offseason. They never get traded. So I don't see Torrens moving anywhere.
Okay. Do you think if we're selling? Last question. Do you think if we're selling, the Mets fire Mendoza at the All Star break?
Oh, to be honest, I think we would like to see that. And when I say we, I think you and I.
Yes.
But the way it's gone so far, why? For what?
I feel like
And
Cohen and
actually,
Stearns. I feel like Cohen and Stearns. I don't mean to interrupt Ronnie, but I'll put my thought real quick on that. Before you continue, I think Cohen and Stearns give me the vibe that like they're too prideful to admit that they
Mhm.
messed up when things are bad. So they kind of want to see it play out because they've shown the past that like when things are bad and bleak and they start speaking positivity and the things turn around, they're like, "See, we told you so. You should have stuck around. See,
Mhm.
we told you. Support them." I kind of feel like they want that last like, "See, I told you so." And I feel
Mhm.
like we're in the middle of that. And when things are really bad and they see the fans actually not showing up to the games or people are starting to like really not pay attention to the Mets, I think that's where you have no choice but to
I think, yeah, I'll agree with you
tap out.
there. If they start selling, I think that Mendoza's gone too. Why not? I'll change my statement. Why not?
Right?
If you're gonna sell the team, fire the coach too, because now
Might as well.
you're breaking everything up. So
Yeah.
it's not working out.
Might as well. No, yeah. No, I agree with that. Um, and this day, what is it, June 11th?
Hmm.
Ronnie, I don't know if you remember, but on this day in Mets history, June 11th, 2005. Okay.
Hmm.
We're losing 3-2 to the Anaheim Angels in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Marlon Anderson, I actually forgot about this guy.
Bro,
Marlon
what?
Anderson came in as a pinch
What?
hitter and tied the game in a inside the park home run. I don't remember this
Oh
actually. I had
my
to search it up and
god.
watch the video. I remember this. I was in New York still living when this happened. And this is when he collided with the catcher at home plate. When that was still legal, or like when that was endorsed in baseball, you could do that. And then Cliff Floyd hit the game winner in the 10th inning. Cliff Floyd. Martin
So
Anderson and Cliff Floyd. Like, what a throwback.
yeah, he was a guy that hit 3 home runs. Yeah, in that 5 game span that Yeah, inside the park home run for the Mets.
and we were losing that game. I never forget because I don't forget the camera we tied, and it was I believe I was towards the end of the school year in New York, and I remember I was told I couldn't finish watching the game. It was already too late, and I remember watching ESPN in the morning, and then I saw Cliff Floyd walk off. Like it was the morning news, and I saw Cliff Floyd walked it off, and I was like, "Damn, I missed it." I watching the videos, I'm just like, "Damn, man, I remember this."
Wow.
Good times for the Mets. Yeah, I mean, it was a win. Something. Well, we won today as well.
Yeah.
Let's try to make this. Ronnie, we got a little carried away last time, but let's try to, get to the point with that this time around because it's crazy. I know you're craving a lot for New York to win a championship,
Yeah.
and right now the Knicks are clearly they're riding momentum. They're one game short. You know where I stand with the Knicks and how I feel with the Nets. However, Ronnie, I'm gonna ask you right now. Watching the game last night was surreal. I'm not going to talk about the emotions in this household. I just want the audience to know that my girlfriend's parent, or her dad, is visiting from Europe, and he doesn't watch basketball. And his knowledge is like it's not the highest of knowledge, but he's just like when I say super casual, he has no idea what's going on in the finals. And he's watching this game. And I'm with my girlfriend as well. They're both watching this game. And they started watching from the end of the third quarter. At the end of the game, they applauded. And her dad said that was some of the greatest, like, ridiculous sports I've seen in my life. That statement alone, coming from someone who doesn't watch basketball, says a lot. And I can only imagine how Knick fans are feeling right now in New
Mm.
York and being at the Garden. Ronnie, how much does it mean to you that the Knicks might actually get the job done? I don't know if you could even, because we've been talking to George and Brian,
Yeah.
their family, and I can only imagine what they're going through. But like what like just try to walk into the emotions of like what happened last night. 'Cause I'm still in shock of what happened, and just like how much does it truly mean besides the videos, like how much does it truly mean that New York's actually gonna get like a legitimate championship in the city?
Boy.
That's not the Mets, unfortunately.
So I think that if I was in New York, this might have been bigger than when the Mets made it to the World Series in 2015 for a lot
Oh,
of reasons, and
oh
they're
yeah.
obvious. They're very obvious. Um, I just wish I was in New York because New York is dying for
They're
a
starving,
championship
man.
from one of these two teams, either the Mets or the Knicks. The city is starving, especially the Knicks. I like I mentioned before, I'm not a basketball fan. I don't really watch it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me or talk to me about certain key moments in Knicks history or whatever the case is, I can hold a conversation. Um, I can talk about some players because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, social media has been around for a while now. I
Yep.
watched some Knicks games. The biggest one for me was when the Linsanity moment. Then when the Knicks got Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, that was
They
crazy.
had the team with J.R. Smith and what's his name? Was it Amari Stoudemire?
Amari Stoudemire, JR, Iman Shumpert. That was a fun team.
Iman Shumpert, yeah.
That
I
was a
remember
fun
those
team.
times. And yeah, I mean, I have no words. When you mentioned George and Brian, your cousins, my brother, my cousin, man, I wish I was there to celebrate with them. It
Yeah.
breaks my heart that I'm not there because it's something that we've always wanted to see one of our teams win a championship. And I
Yeah.
think
No.
Brian just said, bro, we're fans of the shittiest teams.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, and to see New York finally trying to get a chip and they're just a game away. Now, the other AL team, the AL team, AL New York team, did it back in 2009, back in 2000. They were just in the World Series a couple years ago. Obviously, we didn't want them to win. um,
True.
and then you had the Giants. I think the other biggest game in New York history was when the Jets beat the Patriots in the You were
Divisional
there.
round. We went to Times
We
Square to
were.
celebrate. I remember this.
Yeah. Oh, we went to. Oh my God,
Times
Dallas
Square, Dallas
BBQ. We went to
barbecue.
Dallas.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember
Yeah,
this.
bro. I think last night's game might be or might have topped that game because up until now, that game beating the Patriots in that game was up there in New York highlights with
It
the
was cloud
Giants
nine,
beating
and we
the
won nothing.
yeah,
Like no trophy.
yeah,
It was just a good playoff win, and
bro. It was, and I remember that we were so emotional, and obviously the Jets are where the Jets are now. You're obviously not a Jets fan anymore. You jump
nope.
ship.
Yeah,
Anyways,
unfortunately.
to sum it up, I just wish I was there.
Yeah,
It's surreal what happened last night. I keep watching highlights because man, that's amazing to come
it's
back from.
surreal.
They looked down and out, and to come back 29, 27 points, and that last moment, bro, that's legendary status.
It came down to the last second. Yeah,
That's
no, it was
that's
crazy.
legendary status.
They're calling it the hand of God, and it's not the Maradona no more. When you search it
No,
up, hand of God is not Maradona. That's
that's wild.
and Maradona. You hear me? Maradona, the Argentina, the in the World Cup that play. When you talk about football, since we're in the World Cup also, so when you talk about football, that like if you don't know about that moment, someone's gonna tell you, listen, this is one of the greatest moments in football history.
Soccer history, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
I'm just gonna say one more thing about this game last night.
yes,
For everybody listening or watching, never give up. This team just showed that 2 games where they didn't give up, and last night was big proof of that. It came down to the last moment. You never know when you're trying something out and you feel like going out and giving up. Just remember you're probably a shot away or text away, business meeting away from chasing whatever it is that you're chasing. So
Mm,
it's a big lesson right there.
you should
Big
tell the
lesson.
Mets that.
Yeah, fuck
You
the
should
Mets right
tell
now, bro. Fuck the Mets.
them. They're not gonna get the memo, but it's very true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. Obviously, like I'm not a. How can I say this? Not the Knicks fan, and like it's just as a New Yorker and a former New Yorker, this team truly does embody like what being a New Yorker is all about, like the underdog story. Even though they were favorites, I want to remind everybody they were favorites to make the NBA Finals. I
Mhm.
don't call that an underdog story, but the whole Brunson deal, I get the narrative. I'm not gonna get into it. It's just I watched them and this comeback, like they've earned the respect of like a lot of people. Um, the fan situation after the arena, that's not, I want to make it clear, that's not really us. That's not what fans do. I think they're idiots, and
Oh
that's really
yeah.
messed up, that BS. I hope that gets wiped clean off the internet because that's ridiculous. Um, and truly, the city does not deserve that image. Unfortunately, that's kind of things I go through, but that was stupid. But what I'm trying to say was the whole, like grit, toughness, it's just everything, fighting back, not giving up. Like that truly, like it kind of embodies like what living in a city is like. Like sometimes you will get your ass kicked, but you got to fight through it, and the city will reward you for that. And it's just kind of nice. Like I was watching it, and I'm like, damn, this is and when you watch the thing historic go down, it's crazy. Look, this tattoo right here, it's a championship. The MLS team, NYCFC. I got it tatted because it's hard for me to see my teams win championships. And I saw one, and no one even talks about it, which is pathetic because it is a professional soccer league. I want to remind everyone that it is legit, but no one cares. But whatever, I care.
You know
Ronnie,
how much you know how I feel about that.
yeah, I know. Everyone says it's Fugazi, it's Disney World, all this. They listen, they could talk all they want. Listen, it's a championship, all right? They had a parade, even though it was like 10 people in the parade. There was a parade. It's legit. If there's a parade, it's serious, all right? And shout out also to the New York Liberty, the women's basketball team. They won a championship
Bro.
in the city. No one's
Oh,
talking
they
about that
did.
stuff.
They did.
But
Bro,
I'm
come
just
on.
saying, and I joked about it. I said that's the only championship banner that will be in Barclays Center for Brooklyn. And they won at that arena. I'm just saying, like these are the things that people don't want to talk about, but I want to remind. I gotta remind New Yorkers, it's serious. Ronnie, UFC 250 on Sunday. Before we sign off, 3 fights you're looking forward to out of the card, or what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking for Pereira making history and Elijah
Ooh,
Topuria Yeah, bringing the heat. The dude is
Okay.
already like I said a couple episodes ago. He's the only one that can celebrate before anything
And back up.
because he backs it up. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice. We don't encourage and we don't endorse. This is a disclaimer. We don't endorse. We're not promoting. Gambling is a very serious thing if you don't know how to control and behave. We advise that if you have issues or if you have anything wrong, please, there's a hotline for that, or talk to a friend, talk to a family member before it gets out of hand. But that being said, Ronnie, so you're saying that if someone, if I have $100 on the floor and I want to, make
wait a
profit out of it, Pereira to Poria.
Okay, wait. If you're gonna
Pereira's
bet,
a pick'em. Just let you know, Pereira's a pick'em.
it's a pick'em, yes. But those two are my favorite fighters, and
Yeah.
forever I would want them to win. But if I'm gonna bet, I might have to give it to Gon.
Okay.
That dude, from the last fight, bro. That dude he's on a mission.
Okay. So gain him to Poria.
From Jones being submitted the way he did, then fighting Aspinall and not being able to fight and poking the dude's eye out and the fight.
Yeah.
He's on a mission. So Pereira might feel the end of that. And then Topuria, he's coming off a divorce. So,
Okay. Yeah. No, he's gonna win. I know that.
Yeah.
He's not losing that one. Excellent. So also, guys, World Cup fever is going on. We're not gonna get too much into that, but I'm wearing a Colombia jersey and representing. It's a shame Peru's not in it, Ronnie. We discussed this already offline. Peru deserves to be in the World Cup, but man, they need to get their shit together. Hopefully, the next World Cup. 2018 was awesome for that reason. I got both my country. Well, no, USA wasn't in it, but Colombia and Peru was in the World Cup. It was a special time. But yeah, World Cups in town. Actually, Korea is playing soon, and Miami's about to host some games. I'm considering taking my grandpa to one of them, the Uruguay games, because I'm not spending no $1,000 or $3,000 to watch Colombia. But yeah, World Cup time is here. The Mets. I'm hoping with all this fun, I've seen crazier things, but I'm hoping, who knows, maybe a championship in the city will spark the Mets to stop sucking. Maybe, I don't know. Braves are coming up this weekend. We'll do a review episode once the series is done. Ronnie, let's sign off with this. When you talk about the Atlanta Braves, what's the one player that comes to your head
from the Braves team?
From Atlanta Braves in your history in life? Now, then,
there's a lot. Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
On top of that list. John Smoltz.
Top of the list.
John Smoltz.
Andrew Jones. John Smoltz.
Yeah, Andrew Jones, Freddie Freeman, Greg Maddux.
Keyword, all those guys you said, all these guys you're saying right now, they killed the Mets. That's why they stand up on top of your head, right? Yeah. For me, it was Chipper Jones. I hated that guy. And then Freddie Freeman.
We all did. Yeah.
And Freddie Freeman comes in and this guy is Chipper Jones 2.0. Literally, same shit, and dominates the Mets. It pisses me off. Yeah. I expect the Mets to get swept this series. It's gonna get ugly. Yeah, I don't see no faith in them. We play the Braves. Doesn't matter. We're gonna get our asses kicked. So
Braves are the best team in baseball right now. So
it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a bloodbath. I think.
Next time you'll probably see me wearing a USA jersey.
Probably. World Cup and UFC 250. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Till next time. I'm not gonna say it. LFGM. No, they don't deserve it.
FTM.
And Mark Vientos stay on the bench. So then, next time, guys, take care.
Later.